Hello everybody, welcome to Chuck Free Uncorked. This week we have the Gram Sam Ariana Suchia, and we're here to taste Bubbly. New Year's Eve, after all, is right around the corner. So we're going to do two today, Ariana. One from Italy, the northeast, up in the northeast, above Venice, and the second one is from Champagne, France.
So just to be clear, these are both not champagne, but both bubbly. That's correct.
And this one is Bubbly, this one is Champagne.
Got it.
Got it. Okay. So the reason why I wanted to showcase this wine, it hasn't been easy. Here you open it. You're more nimble than me. You know, the reason why I wanted to showcase this particular Bubbly is because Italian Prosecco is one of the top U.S. wine imports. It's one of the very top. And what that means to me is there's a lot of so-so juice coming in. So this is as good as it gets. This is as real as it gets. So this is Gregoletto. So one of the top movements in terms of food across the world that really kind of started in Italy is called slow foods. And slow foods is a celebration of sustainable and heirloom heritage plants. And everything natural minded and taking care of the earth and respecting heirloom and where we came from. And the chefs are totally embracing it. All the top chefs of Italy and France are there. Well, this particular winery was not too long ago Winery of the Year, which is a huge accolade. And unlike the more commercial grade Proseccos, this one is made in the old-fashioned way. That's why it's the label.
And what does that mean to you? What does that mean, old-fashioned way?
So it's made in a secondary fermentation.
Okay.
But it rests on its lees. That's why it's called Sui Lieviti. Lieviti. And so that means surly, essentially.
And for those of you at home, lees is what gives that really nice bready, almost like sourdough note to it sometimes. And
so you're going to see, you can't see it now, but by the time we get to the end of the bottle, you're going to see all the sediment down here. So that's not typical of the Proseccos that you find in a store, but it's just made the old-fashioned way, just like how their ancestors. This is grown in the Canigliano, Valle Biadene region, and specifically 4 sub-communes. And I just think it's, it's something very special, something very unique, and something very authentic.
It's not like a Prosecco I've ever had before. This is very, very interesting.
Well, when we were driving over here, we were talking about vodkas and we were talking about all these other things, and how people now, they distill it 3 times or they filter it and find it so that you lose something. Yes, you lose something.
Yeah, okay.
And so it's more scientifically made, so that's why it's perfect. It's a perfect wine. This has grit to it, and as I explained to you in the car, it's kind of like making
coffee,
French pressed coffee that's been freshly ground, and after you press it, you can still have grinds in your coffee. So I call that grit. So this wine still has grit.
It still has the flavor and the substance.
Yeah, it's untouched. It's not scientifically made, and I think that this wine is just absolutely stunning, and it's a reminder of where we came from. It's a family. It's an heirloom vine of Prosecco. There's many different vines of Prosecco. This is an heirloom, and it's just grown by this family on these steep hillsides. I think this wine is terrific.
Can I ask around how much a bottle should I
expect?
So
it was at that Arfield wine store at Kailua. And it was like $22.95 or $23.95, something like that.
Steals, bro.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So, it's true. You go to some of these large box stores, you can find Prosecco at $9.99. Well, as in the case with many things, you get what you pay for. I think $23.99 is very reasonable considering what you're getting.
Absolutely.
And it's all the way shipped here, all the way to Hawaii in temperature control. I think this wine is certainly worth checking out and looking for. I only saw it one store, that was Arfield in Kailua. Again, I'm not trying to promote a single store. I just want to, I just go out and look for these wines. And when we find it, I just want to tell you where it's at. So if you want to try it, you can go out and buy it.
Lovely.
Yeah, thank you. The second wine we're going to try is actually from Champagne, France. And this is from the house of J. LaSalle.
Ooh, LaSalle. I think that's a really good classic in the Somme community. We love LaSalle. We love hearing that.
Let me explain a little bit why you're tasting the wine, and then you can tell us what you taste. Let me explain to you a little bit about the biggest category of champagnes that are available in Hawaii anyways is called NM, Negociant Manipulant. Part of the stipulations for that category is you can buy juice, you can buy grapes, you can buy fermented wine already, and you make a house blend, right? So that's the large houses, Veuve Clicquot, Moët Chandon, etc. That's not better or worse. It's just the way it is. The category that's really growing amongst the sommelier community of not only the United States but across the world.
Is that a pun there? The growing community?
It's called récoltant manipulant, or as the nickname says, it's grower champagne, right? So part of the stipulations for grower champagnes include you have to own your own vineyards, you have to farm your own vineyards, you have to make your own wine, you have to bottle your own wine, right? And while that's not necessarily a quality determinant, it does say something about artisan handcrafted. And so there's a lot of grower champagnes now, and it keeps growing and growing. That doesn't mean they're all good. You know, it's just, but there's like 10 of them that I think are outstanding. This is my wife's favorite, the House of J. LaSalle.
Well, tell me if I'm wrong, but J. LaSalle also, they're women pioneered at the moment, correct? 3
generations of females.
Love that.
Run this operation. And so this is in a Premier Cru village that's called Chigny-les-Roses, and it's all Premier Cru. It's not just every day. This is Premier Cru stuff. This particular bottling, I believe, is like a third each of the 3 approved grapes, Pinot Noir, Pinot Meunier, and Chardonnay. It spends 36 months on the yeast, which is considerable.
Yep.
You know, and especially when you consider the price, this wine is a great value.
So what price would you say I can find this at in the store?
I would say $48 maybe.
That's a steal
and you
when
look
you're
at the
thinking
large
about
houses.
Premier Cru. Yeah, absolutely.
It's way more expensive. So again, handcrafted by 3 ladies. I think what I love about this grower champagne is it's very intricate. It's very nuanced. There's a lot of complexity, but quietly, subtly done, as opposed to power. It's not yeasty. It's not heavy. It's not bitter or anything like that.
With that in mind, Chuck, it's so delicate and fresh. What would you say everyone's going to be eating good for the New Year's? What would you say some food pairings would be for both of these?
I think Bubbly is just to start the meal off.
Aperitif.
It just gets your digestive juices and your saliva going, and
Cleanse
I think
the
it's
palate.
And plus that it kind of adds to the festivities of New Year's Eve and holiday get-togethers. It just kind of like
you stay up till midnight. You make it that late.
Oh, now you got to hate now, huh? That's the way it goes, huh?
Oh, okay.
So there you have it. You know, again, to make your holiday season that much more special, here's 2 family-owned and operated heirloom heritage vine, sustainably farmed specialties. You know, not every store is going to carry it, but some
they're
of the
worth the fine, for
and
sure.
some of the fine wine stores will certainly carry it because they know quality.
Absolutely.
Right? So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, and all you viewers. Is that Bubbly?
Bubbly.
Here we go.
Cheers.
Thank you.